Alright, my name is Ernest Vargas, and I'm going to be doing a couple of muscle length, manual muscle tests and range of motion for the thoracolumbar. So the first one I'm going to do is going to be a thoracolumbar lateral flexion. So the patient here had his shirt off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first get the goniometer, find his S2 by finding his PSIS, going medially. Next thing is I'm going to have his axis of rotation on the S2. The movable is going to be in line with C7. The stationary is going to be perpendicular with the ground. And I'm going to cue the patient to have his arms at his side and have him go move his fingers towards the ground. Right? All right, and I'm getting about 34 degrees, and the average is 35 degrees of goniometer, and that's normal. Next one I'm going to do is thoracolumbar flexion. So, same thing before, I'm going to find the PSIS, find S2 between that, then I'm going to measure it out in centimeters, all the way up to T1, so I'm going to find C7, and then move down, and I'm getting 52 centimeters. Next, I'm going to cue the patient to try to touch their toes. Okay, can you flex and touch your toes? Perfect. Next, I'm going to find the PSIS again, and T2, and I see that it deviated, and I see 60 centimeters now. So the average is 10 centimeters, and it was 8 centimeters for him, so within normal range. Right. The next thing I'm going to do is going to be a toe touch test for muscle lengthening. So I'm going to have the patient, I'm going to cue the patient to try to touch his toes. You can touch your toes for me. And I see that his fingers went down to the floor. I see no deviation on his back, and I see no deviation on his thoracolumbar. And this test assesses both movement at the shoulder girdle, at the hip, and at the thoracolumbar. Right? Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 manual muscle tests. So the first thing I'm going to do is have the patient lay supine on the table. So there's the first test I'm going to do is going to be lumbar flexion. So first I'm going to have the patient have his arm at his side. Legs are going to be extended, and I'm going to cue the patient to try to do a crunch, and I'm going to assess to see if the inferior angle is going off the table. If it is, gets to the table, I'll automatically a 3 with his arm to his side. Can you flexion for me, please? Perfect. Now I want you to cross your arms. This will be a 4 if you can do it. Can you do this? Perfect. 4. And now the last one will be a 5, and that's his hands behind his back. Can you flexion for me, please? Excellent. So this patient here gets a 5. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have his knees extended. His hips going to be in 90 degree of flexion. I'm going to hold it up at 90 degrees. I'm going to put my hand under his back. And this test is going to be the lower abdominals. So I'm going to cue the patient to slowly go into extension, hip extension, while having his lower back touch my fingers. Okay, right around here, I'm gonna hold this, and once the lumbar has left my fingers, that's where I do the angle. Axis of rotation is going to be at the greater trochanter. Stationary is going to be in line with thoracic. Movable is going to be in line with the lateral side of the femur. All right, you can relax. And I got about 30 degrees, and that right there is a 4+. And 0 to 15. All right, 0 to 14 is a 5. 15 to 30 is a 4+, and then every 50 degrees thereafter is a minus in there. Okay.